Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ivy, and today I'm going to be talking about The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. So this book is the third in the Ascendance trilogy. The first book is called The False Prince, and the second book is called The Runaway King. There we go. And so I recommend that you leave this video now if you have not read the first or second books in the series, because obviously this will contain spoilers for both of them. Okay, so this book picks up pretty much where the last book left off, and war has begun in Carthia, and Imogen, I think that's how you pronounce her name, has been captured, and so Jaren must figure out how to win the war that has come upon the kingdom. So that's fun. And so the characters in this book are so amazing. We have Jaren, who is super cocky and witty, but confident, and just super brave and determined to do what's right for the country. And he's just an amazing character to read about. There's Tobias, who's super kind, and he tries so hard to be helpful, and he is, honestly, he is so helpful. And there's Rodin, who, even though he might not realize it, is a strong and brave leader. And there's Mott, who is a super loyal, strong, brave friend to Jaren. And yeah, I just love the whole cast of characters. There's Imogen, who is super brave and loyal as well, and Amarinda, who the same goes for her. So this just has an amazing cast of characters. So if you have not read this book, I recommend that you leave the video now, because I'm about to spoil it for you. Okay, so Jaren decides that he's going to go Jaren decides that he's going to go join Rodin, because he's at the border of Jelen, a different country, fighting, and so he goes to join them, and Amarinda, Fink, and Tobias all set off for Weimar, and Mott goes to the Avenian camp to try to rescue Imogen. And so Jaren gets to this battle, and they end up winning the battle, and Rodin is having some difficulties leading, but Jaren is able to help him a little bit with that. But then when he's there, he realizes he has a lot of words. He is told by one of the soldiers that they captured that the whole Avenian capturing Imogen thing was never a trap for him like he thought. It's actually a trap for Mott, and they knew that he would send Mott and not him. So he has to rush to the camp to try to rescue Mott and Imogen, and he attempts to rescue them, but Imogen is shot, and he thinks that she is dead, which she most likely is, but we'll see. And so he is captured, and he thinks she's dead, so he's pretty much devastated because he is basically in love with her, even though he does not want to admit it to himself. He's definitely in love. So Tobias, actually, yeah, I think it is. Tobias ends up being captured as well, and so is Harlow. But then, after like a long time of being tortured by the Avenians, Mott finally rescues them, and they go to the pirates to try to enlist their help in the war, which we don't know how it goes then, but we'll figure it out later in the book, which is kind of cool. Like, I enjoy how Jennifer Nielsen kind of does this thing throughout the whole series. She'll kind of, like, she won't reveal, like, what's fully going on until later, which is kind of cool, I think. Like, in the first book, like, we only saw Sage, which is the person that Jaren adopted to be, like, his character, and like normally we would know that he was hiding it in like a normal book, but this book was different, and I kind of like that about these books. It's kind of cool, you know? Anyway, so they try to get the pirates to help, and we don't know if they're going to help or not, but they have to rush to Gilead because there's going to be yet another battle against Mendenwall, I think, and they win that battle, but Jaren knows that this is far from over, so he goes to like Falstan, where he uses the lake to defeat the enemy, which is super cool, but then Avenia shows up and things start going horribly wrong because they're way outnumbered and he can't really do anything about it. So Jaren ends up surrendering himself in exchange for medical supplies for his men, and he is taken and captured, and he is taken to Farthenwood, which is insane, and he had this plan the whole time, but, you know, we don't exactly know this yet. Like I said, like his full plan isn't revealed until it's actually put in action, which is really cool. So he ends up at Farthenwood, and he's kind of forced to sign this paper saying that he gives Carthia over to the King of Avenia, but yet again, we still don't know the full thing. And then he is going to be executed the next day, and so he has to choose who will be executed because there are only 2 nooses, but he, Tobias, and Roden, they've all been captured. Also, Imogen's alive. Wow. I'm not sure how I felt about this because Mott also survives. He got really injured, but he still survives. Like, it's just too perfect, you know? I'll talk about that later, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, yay, I'm glad they're both alive, but still, it's like too perfect. Not everyone survives war. You can't just have all your loved ones survive, even though his family did die. But you know, that's besides the point. Moving on. So, Jaren has to decide who will be killed between him, Tobias, and Roden, because there are only 2 nooses, and that's a pretty difficult decision, but he ends up picking him and Roden, and he realizes that Harlow is Roden's father, but he doesn't tell him until after all this stuff goes down because he doesn't have the heart to tell him right before he dies. And he's also kind of jealous of Roden because he's always thought of Harlow as kind of like a father to him. So yeah, that's kind of a mess. But he ends up getting a knife from Connor, which, like, I could tell with the conversation in the office that they had. Connor was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And, like, you could see Jaren, like, putting the pieces together and being like, oh my gosh, Connor's actually on my side, which is crazy to me, but also kind of cool. Like, you never know what side he's on, which is very interesting. But he ends up escaping from the noose, and he gets Roden too. And then the pirates are there, which he calls out of the tunnels, and it turns out he didn't actually sign his name on the thing. He signed something really, really funny, like, you will never get anything from me, and it's so funny. I'm trying to find it, but you know, it's a lost cause, but it's so amazing, and they win the war, Vargan is killed, and Avenia surrenders, everything is at peace. Imogen and, what's-his-face, Jaren, wow, marry, and so do Amarinda and Tobias because they're in love, and I thought that was so cute. I could tell right from the start of this book that there was something going on between the 2 of them. And yeah, this just made me so happy. It was such a happy ending, which, I mean, it's happy, but like I said, it's kind of too perfect. Like, life is not like how this perfect. Like, it just does not work like this. So that was kind of frustrating, but you know, it's okay. And the theme of love was so cool because Jaren realizes how powerful and important love is to him and to everyone else, and that was really, really sweet. And I don't know, this book was just super good. I seriously, weird choice of word. I seriously enjoyed the characters, especially Jaren, like I say every time I talk about this series. But seriously, he's amazing. And there's also the super fast-paced, exciting story, which is amazing. And it's just this is a super good series. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, this book, not the whole series, because it was really good, but like I said, the ending was just too perfect, and that's just kind of frustrating. Like, I want someone to actually die. That's so dark, but it's honestly true, so whatever. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!